Scarring is being managed more and more in the primary care setting, and research tells us that nurses and pharmacists are being frequently drawn on during patient consultations to offer guidance. Considerations for managing patients with scarring are twofold. There is clearly the physical element of the scar to consider in terms of wound care and healing. However, there's also the wider psychological impact that skin trauma and the resulting body changes can have on the patient. A recent survey carried out by Behavioural has highlighted that 42% of people feel that their scar affects their everyday mental health, with many experiencing symptoms of depression and anxiety as a result of their scar. There is a diverse range of considerations that influence how patients feel about their scars. Age, gender, the location of the scar, and how and why it happened are all key in directing how our emotions manifest themselves. Research reveals that 1 in 10 people feel isolated as a result of their scar, and even felt that their scar had become more visible than their true self. Society can place huge pressure on us all to appear perfect, and for many patients these feelings can cause genuine concern and distress. 1 in 10 people with scarring feel that they are judged by others as a result, and 1 in 5 are often openly questioned about their scar.
I thought I'd be feeling better by now. I was leaning up to get something out of off a cupboard at a friend's house, and I got asked, about my scar. And as soon as it was mentioned, because my top had obviously lifted as I was reaching, I could feel myself getting embarrassed, and I just changed the subject. I can't even bring myself to actually show anybody or even talk about it.
It's often difficult for patients to be impartial about their scars, and they may feel embarrassed, ashamed, or socially inhibited. They may feel that their scar reminds them that they are no longer who they used to be, or that the scar now represents them, and that is all people see when meeting them.
Yeah. I should be going swimming with my daughter and not caring and wearing what I feel happy in, or what I like, not because it covers me up.
This undoubtedly has an impact on both the patient's self-confidence and self-esteem, and while people may want to hide away, coming to terms with it and learning to accept it as part of who they are is the best way to help improve psychological well-being. Interestingly, the psychological impact of scarring isn't directly linked to whether a scar is visible on the patient every day or is able to be hidden with clothing. It can often be found that those who experience scarring on an area which is more difficult to conceal, such as their face, are more likely to come to a point of acceptance psychologically. Sometimes having to encounter your scar on a regular basis, such as a facial scar and a mirror each morning, can aid rather than hinder acceptance, as it encourages people to deal with it rather than hide it away. It's important for healthcare professionals to understand the varying factors that can affect how a patient feels about their scar, and to be able to support and guide them towards the long-term goal of acceptance. Understanding how a scar can be treated in terms of camouflage, lifestyle, and help and advice available can make a big difference to the patient. If a patient is traumatised by either the scar itself or the circumstances in which it happened, cognitive behavioural therapy, which helps them think about their scar in a different and more positive way, can be of real value. Theories such as Price's model of body image and coping strategies also identify the importance of active management, including the value of touch in the acceptance process. Over half of people don't touch or massage their scar, and promoting this physical contact can be of real benefit on their journey towards scar acceptance. Massaging scar tissue has also been proven to improve the appearance of scarring. Despite the significant impact of scarring on emotional well-being, 67% of people actually don't seek advice from a healthcare professional, even though healthcare professionals are identified by patients as the most trusted source of advice. Research in this area tells us that this is largely due to patients not being aware that healthcare professionals can offer support in this area, a fairly simple and straightforward barrier for us to overcome. With this in mind, healthcare professionals could be more proactive in discussing scarring with patients to ensure they understand that support is available to them.
I was using something on it that I shouldn't have been using. No one told me that, and I ended up with an infection, and that was down to what had been putting on my stomach. So I was back in hospital again, taken back in again. So that took a long time for my scar to heal, and it was very angry because of the infection that I got in it. So it took, as the doctor said, almost twice the amount of time to heal, just because of not being given the correct information from the hospital.
Patients are seeking practical and emotional support, and we know that a large number of patients do want advice about scarring from a healthcare professional. It helps to discuss with them the type of scar, how long they've had it, how it happened, and any discomfort such as pain or itching. Given the emotional consideration associated with scarring, it's important to raise the topic in a sensitive and compassionate way. Reassure the patient that scarring is very common, with 1 in 3 people having scarring on their bodies, and recommend treatments or products that can help. In certain cases, such as further treatment or severe psychological impact, a referral to another appropriate healthcare professional may be necessary, for example, a dermatologist or mental health professional. A real window of opportunity in scar management is to discuss aftercare before or recently after the wound has occurred. This can help to combat future feelings of shock or mourning when the skin changes.
All I could see was this dressing, and I thought, wow, that is going to be big, because I wasn't expecting it. People kept saying, oh, I'll keep it to a minimum. And when you look down, you realise you've got like 8 inches of scar, and it's not a nice thought. It's not a nice thing to wake up to.
Nice.
It is a shock.
So the key points to remember are: scarring can have a significant impact on psychological well-being. Setting realistic expectations and providing information as early as possible benefits long-term scar acceptance. Let patients know that you're able to help using supportive and sensitive language, and approach the topic carefully. Scarring advice can be tagged onto an existing appointment, for example, a minor procedure, and doesn't have to be time-consuming. To help you cover all of these points, Behavioural have developed aftercare packs, which allow you to provide patients with essential information and advice to take home and empower them on their scar journey. To download the aftercare pack, visit the Behavioural professional website or click on the link below.